Hello, hello. It's been a little while since you have seen me, but all is well. And I am excited to jump back into this series. And this is officially after 9 months. And I promise we won't wait another 9 months before two episodes come out. But this is episode 3. And the title is protecting your creativity during slow seasons. Now, y'all know if you have seen episode 1 and 2, I am a note taker. So I have all of my notes on my laptop because I want to make sure that we are hitting all of the hot buttons during the next 20 to 25 minutes that we are talking. Okay. So when business slows down, what does that look like? And I think that it is very important for us to understand that when business does slow down, that this should not be a sign of failure. This should not be a sign that anything is wrong with you. This is actually a sign that it's time for you to start pivoting a little bit in your business and how you manage certain things. And why can I speak to this? Because I am going through a slow season right now. However, this is a slow season that I know comes every time this time of year. And I am based in Phoenix, Arizona. So I know in this particular market, the summertime is normally very slow for beauty professionals because people are not in town, they're traveling for vacation, kids have graduated, kids are getting ready to, travel off to school or whatever the case may be. There's, snowbirds, is what we call the individuals that come from out of town to Arizona during the cooler portions of the year. So it's a lot of people in and out. So it's not as busy for the hair and makeup professional. Now, if you are in a regular salon space, that might not be your story, and that is totally fine. But I know for me, as a freelancer, every year consistently, this has been the slow season. And for a lot of other creatives in other industries, not directly related to beauty, this is also a slower season for them. So, what does that mean? What does that mean for us? What are we doing to make sure that we are still feeling like we're producing something, and producing something that makes sense? So I want to talk to you a little bit about what that means and how I have kind of overcome that in a thought that I hope encourages you in some form or fashion. So for me, that stagnancy is almost kind of like, okay, girl, what else do you have in the tank? What else do you want to do? What else can we do to make sure that we are still on our P's and our Q's. So for me, it's about not asking for permission. I am not waiting or asking for permission to do anything. And what does that look like? That looks like really taking the time to map out what I want the second half of my year to look like, and then also what I want Q1 to look like for the new year. So when I tell you I have been in a serious think tank, I mean that in every sense of the word. I have been spitting out idea after idea after idea. And I'm thankful that these ideas are things that I have thought about in the past, but maybe have not pressed go on before. Why is that? I'm in a different phase of my life right now. I am currently in an empty nesting phase. Oh my gosh. Yes, that's how much has happened in the last time that I have done one of these videos. But in understanding that, this is giving me a newfound freedom in not only my personal life, but in my professional life. So I am no longer waiting for permission or asking for permission. The things that I want to do, I'm going to do, and I'm going to make those things happen however I need to make those things happen. So this is really allowing me to kind of push myself a little bit, and I'm very thankful for that. So this is feeding my creativity instead of forcing it. So I have had a couple of conversations with other individuals on my team, and I'm like, you know what? I haven't done test shoots in I don't know how long. Like, I remember I used to do test shoots almost every month when I first started in the beauty industry. And that really was just a fuel to my flame. It allowed me to not only interact with other individuals, but it allowed me to showcase my skill set and show different brands that this is what I could do if you were looking for somebody that had this particular skill set. So that's what I've been doing. I have been test shooting, and I've had one big one which included like 3 different models, and that one I cannot wait to see the images. I've already seen the proofs, but I cannot wait to see the images. I can't wait to see the video, but I'm very excited because that's going to be awesome. I have another one scheduled. Actually, I have another one that I did as well. So I've been really kind of making sure that I'm test shooting. This is allowing me to not only keep my skills sharp and my timing sharp, but to really get me out of my comfort zone of doing the same thing all the time. It allows me to come up with fresh ideas for different things that I might not have thought of before. So very excited about that. I also, during this slower period, decided that I was going to do something that I had not done in over 10 years, which was be a part of a runway show. When I tell you I haven't done that in over 10 years, I mean that in every sense of the word. Oh my gosh. However, when I first started as a beauty professional, that's where I started. I started in runway shows. So it taught me about my speed. It taught me about being able to work in close proximity with other people, because we're all literally side by side by side by side, right? So I did that and it felt awesome. I wasn't the lead. I wasn't even the key. I was just another individual on the team. And guess what? That was fine for me because my contribution felt meaningful, and I was glad that I was able to support in the way that I could. So I am doing things like that. I'm also feeding my creativity in other ways. I am taking walks because that's time that I need for my personal tank to be filled up. And in those times, I might have on some music, or I might have on something inspirational or motivational because I need something to feed my spirit at the same time, right? So I've been doing that as well. Now, again, it is very hot here in Arizona. So I have had to get up very early to try to beat this heat. So I haven't taken a walk in about a week and a half now because these temperatures have been over 110. And yeah, it's not for the faint of heart. But yes, I've been doing different things to feed my creativity. So I encourage you to find ways to feed your creativity, whether that's taking a walk, whether that's going to a museum, whether that's listening to music, cooking, or making up a new recipe. I love cooking. I love being in the kitchen. Going to museums, whatever that looks like for you, connecting with other individuals, watching a documentary, truly trying to find inspiration in things that aren't normally the things that you look at for inspiration. So do something that's going to feed your creativity. I know probably the next thing that I will do will be to pick up a mannequin head and start practicing again on that. I love practicing on my mannequin heads. I actually did do something with a mannequin head the other day. I just slapped a lot of bleach on her and was like, okay, we're just going to see what's going to happen. And I rinsed it off and I really liked the way that it looked. But then I was like, you know what? Let's slap a little bit more bleach on here and see what happens. But I love the way that it turned out. It was very cute. So we'll see what happens. I might give her a new style. I might give her a cut. I don't know. But I'm always doing something to really feed my creativity. And I think that's important. Slow seasons are also for our building. It's an opportunity for you to kind of look at your documents, like your pricing. It's an opportunity for you to kind of look at your taxes and see, how things are going. It's an opportunity for you to start building curriculums if that's something that you're interested in as far as education, or maybe tweaking curriculums. It's also an opportunity for you to reach out to people that maybe you've wanted to work with, but you were too afraid to reach out to. It's also an opportunity for you to put yourself out there in a way that you hadn't done prior. And I am doing all of that and more. And gosh, this month of July has flown by so fast. Like literally, it has flown by so fast. But within that, I can say, okay, we've really actually gotten a lot of stuff done. I had a telephone call earlier today, And the person on the other end was like, I'm so glad that you said that you were going to do this and then you got it done. Like, we like that, you know, somebody that says they have an idea about something and they want to do it and then makes it happen. And it made me think, like, dang girl, you really did do that. Like, I had an idea about something. I said I wanted it to happen by XYZ time. It's happening by XYZ time. And now it's like, okay, let's see what's going to come of this. And I feel like it's going to be a relationship building that's going to come of it, which I'm super excited about, because I feel like there's so many voices that you hear as it relates to business and creative and beauty, that it's like, okay, where do you feel like you land within all of that? So I'm looking forward to that relationship building aspect. And like I said, within that, that means I've been creating my own assignments. As a freelancer, as an entrepreneur, I can't wait for an opportunity to just land in my lap. If I waited, I would not have not even half of the things that I have now. So I have to be willing to put one foot in front of the other. I have to be willing to do that outreach, you know, and a lot of times it is cold outreach because I don't have all of the relationships that I would like to have. I'm building, but you know, certainly those can only go, you know, so far. So I am creating the opportunities that I want to have, and within that, it's showing me that I need to be preparing myself for a little bit of a pivot. And it's a little scary when you think about it, because it's like, okay, you've been doing all of this, building your career as a hairstylist and a makeup artist in these different spaces, whether it's, you know, for editorial or for commercial, or, you know, whatever the case may be. And now you're thinking about pivoting. What does that look like for you? And I'm thinking about that because, like, there's a lot happening right now in the world, right? And we have to pay attention to it to a certain degree. We really do. It can very much feel like noise a lot of the time, but we still do have to pay attention to it to a certain degree. So it's like, okay, what skills can I pull back out from my corporate career into who I am as a beauty professional now, and still be able to pour back into the world the way that I'm supposed to? And that has been what I feel like I've been thinking about and trying to really recreate in my mind in my pivot. Like, it has to make sense. It has to feel aligned. It has to feel like it's something that I'm truly supposed to be doing in this earth. And I'm working on it, you know, as we all are. We're works in progress. So I am continuing to work on what that pivot looks like for me. That doesn't mean that I'm getting ready to leave anything, let's be clear. But I do think that it means that I need to stay sharp on all of my skills. Like, you know, if the world was to blow up today, you know, who is going to be thinking about getting their hair and their makeup done? You know what I mean? So it's just really making me think along those lines of, okay, let's make sure we have some other skills. Let's make sure we can understand some other things. And I think that's super important. You know, we have to make sure that we keep our head on the swivel, because we just never know what is going on. I also feel like I have been taking more time to rest. Ooh, what is that word? Oh my goodness, that is a bad word. That 4-letter word, rest. I have caught up on so many shows. I have been watching so much television, but not television to the sense of, like, you know, I've never been a horror girl. That's just not my thing. But like, I have caught up on all of the shows. Like, I'm watching documentaries, I'm watching dramas, I'm watching actions and thrillers. Like, and of course, I'm waiting to the end to see who the hairstylists are, who the makeup artists are, who the wardrobe is, who the art director is. Like, I love understanding that as well. But for me, that's my rest, being able to just, you know, lay down and watch some television and not be stressed out about, you know, where the next gig is coming from, not be stressed out about the fact that I am an empty nester and what are my kids doing, you know what I mean? So I am enjoying REST, and I'm going to start enjoying that just a little bit more as well. But, you know, again, thinking about that pivot, but I'm gonna make fun out of enjoying that, you know, and I'm very excited about that. I think the lesson in all of this is understanding that your creativity has roots and that business has ebbs and flows. You know, it has seasons. You know, we all go through it, and understanding all of that, I think the most important thing is to understand that this does not mean that you're doing anything wrong. I remember at one point in my career, I was like, okay, if I'm not busy, what does that mean? Does that mean I'm not doing my job well? Why are people not calling me? But I really had to understand and really talk to other individuals and understand, no, that's what is happening in this particular market. So if that's what's happening in this market, then maybe I should think about being in another space so that I can still do those things. You know what I mean? But I think it's important to just really understand whatever that lesson is for you. Just don't internalize it. Don't get down on yourself in a way that it makes you feel like you're not doing enough. You know, yes, we can all do more, whatever more is, but we all have 24 hours in a day, and it's about how you can be the most productive in that space and in that time. So what are you doing during your quiet seasons? What are you doing during your slow periods? What does that look like for you? How do you keep your creativity alive? I'm interested in hearing your thoughts on this because I think this is a conversation that's important. You know, we want to have that downtime so that we can refill our cups. You know what I mean? Especially as creatives, we're always creating, we're always filling somebody else's cups, we're always producing somebody else's vision. Sometimes it's okay to take a pause and make sure that your vision is coming to fruition as well. Thank you so much for tuning in to this episode 3, and I look forward to chatting with you soon.